Coming to you live from their studio in South Florida, Twist Gaming. Featuring lead broadcaster, Matt Koza. Co-host and creative genius, Josh Perry. Co-host and interviewer extraordinaire, Ann Lazito. Co-host and marketing mogul, Aaron Murphy. With appearances from special guest, Lucy.
Hello, everyone. Told you it was going to cut short.
You did. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Twist Gaming. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight is Twitch Plays Middara, the Unintentional Malum. It is one of our interactive streams. It is the campaign game we've been playing for a while. It is also Matless Monday Middara. Boom, boom, boom! Also, that intro cut short, and just after we were having our Rule 3 conversation.
Roll 3.
So let me do my best, Matt. But first of all, who are we? I'm Ann.
And I'm Josh.
He
did say we're coming from sunny South Florida, though.
Thank you for joining us tonight. It's not sunny, it's nighttime.
Hey, he says it every time, even though it's nighttime every time we stream.
We're coming to you live from sunny South Florida with one of our great interactive streams. I gotta get all the hype up. He's got way too much energy. Way too much energy. If you are new to any of our interactive streams, just brief overview. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Interactive streams. You fine folks at home are going to be playing as one of the characters in our campaign game for Middara. You can go to this link right here, and it is a Google Photo Drive link, and that will show you the gear grid to the character Nightingale with the stats, the current gear. I thought it was the city of Sunny in South Florida.
No.
It is now. Yes. Don't ruin people's hopes and dreams, Joshua.
Keep going. Do whatever you're doing. You see how Nightingale's eyes are just kind of hovering over the table?
Yeah,
She's just like trying to peek. Get a peek.
Ways you fine folks at home control Nightingale is through shouting out in chat. It's an interactive show, so we will talk about things that are going on in the story or actions that need to be made, and we will talk online. Rule 3 for derailing it. We'll talk in conversation about what decisions you folks at home should be taking. Nightingale primarily has been built by you guys at home to be a magic user. Her more common abilities are Gore Shot and Organic Liquefy, so when you're checking out the gear grid, please take a minute to pay some little extra special attention to that. She does a lot of blood magic, so there's abilities on here that allow you to do extra damage by taking irreducible damage. The build also includes equipment, which allows you to regain health. So those work very nice synergistically. Other ways outside of shouting out in chat and common discourse on how to control the character, Josh has done this really cool thing, because every once in a while, broken clock is right twice a day, has installed hence the juice boxes. He has put together this really cool dice roll for you fine folks at home. So whenever dice need to be rolled and we need you to roll them at home, you'll go ahead and do either ! roll or hit the button that's supposed to come up that Josh promises is there, but I don't know if it's really there. And all of the face for the die are programmed into the computer, and as you can see, presented by Video Game Voyeur, aka Vanna Whiten it all up. We got a 4, a 2, a 2, and a 3 in the various different color dice. So, Joshua.
Yes.
What happened last time on Middara?
We found the flower. Twitch decided to be nice and hand it over. We didn't keep it for ourselves for the money.
Why were we looking for a flower?
Trying to get, I can't remember her name's kid to come over through the portal to come to Middara.
The Hides.
The Hides.
No, not the Hides. The Hide is the place. Goodbye, Lucy.
This is Lucy, everyone. Goodbye. So the Harbinger wanted this flower and he said he'll speed things along. So we got him the flower, and we handed it over. And that was pretty much the end. And then we went to go do the main quest, which is go to the Hyde Estate. And then we had a...
we had an interaction with the gate guard.
And we had to try to do a Presence 45 check.
Because we needed to convince them that we were there for a reason. We had no idea why. Yes, Lucy is a boy. Sorry, Lucy is short for Lucifer, like Satan, like terrible. But it is easy, totally get why everybody still calls him a girl.
And we did pass, so we get to go to Smooth Talker.
Yeah.
Smooth Operator.
No.
Yeah, Smooth Talker is a smooth operator.
Smooth criminal.
No.
Dun, 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 dun. Actually, that's not even the right song either, but with like, I like the alien ant farm, whatever. Zeke stood a little taller, adopting his best imitation of his mother's regal bearing. He lowered his voice, as though sharing a secret with these guards.
We both know Elias is waiting for outside help. If difficulties could be resolved by you guards, you wouldn't have nothing. You would have solved this already.
Not
I have your papers, you have mine. The highlights are all wrong.
No.
Yeah. It is.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
That was rude.
Not to discount the valor of your men.
Rook added from behind him.
We've encountered many threats on the trail, but the town remains secure. This is an admirable accomplishment.
The guards exchanged a nervous glance, and Zeke didn't give them a chance to collect themselves.
What you're looking at is a team of seasoned adventurers from the city of Elania. Adventurers who would love to help. From the city of Elania.
One of the guards shared a look with the other.
Apologies. We hadn't expected you to arrive so quickly.
One of the guards turned away, banging his spear a few times on the gate.
The help from the capital has arrived. Open the gate.
Zeke fought back a grin as guards retracted thick metal bars, letting them into the estate. He threw a look at Nightingale, and as they walked through the gates, she whispered, "You got lucky." Just loud enough for him to hear.
Yes, Lucy is well alive. He's scared of Matt now, and he won't come by the stream when Matt's here.
I wish he was afraid of me, too.
The Hyde Estate
was easily the largest structure in Hyde, though the gardens themselves seemed more practical than ornamental. The gray trees looked like they would give shade and maybe bear some kind of fruit, but they weren't particularly nice to look at. There were no bars on the windows like there were in the Moretti estate. Instead, there was a wide set of double doors, big enough that the whole town might rush inside if they needed to.
Master Hyde, didn't expect you to arrive before hearing back from Elania.
The guard explained as they made their way to a side door. They were brought to a sparse but comfortable sitting room, though the tables were bare and there was no fire going in the hearth. "So we're the help that was sent for," Nightingale whispered, lifting a slim finger toward the balcony running around the top of the room.
Guess we are.
Zeke watched as the guards stirred into a frenzy of activity by their arrival. "What's the plan?" Remi interrupted in a low whisper.
At this point,
Zeke took a deep breath.
we got to run with it. We say Elania sent us to help with whatever's happening. Little town like this can't be that hard.
It's gonna be hard.
We helped them through it, and they'll be sure to give us any information we need.
The doors banged open and two men came striding in.
Elias Hyde?
Zeke said as they approached the group.
Indeed.
The older looking of the two wore dark, elegant clothing. A large scar ran down the right side of his face, leaving his eye cloudy and most likely sightless. His other eye was a brilliant red and looked at them sharply. His legs ended not in feet, but with hooves, a byproduct of the advancement, no doubt. Elias gestured for them to be seated and then sat himself. He looked worn, despite his regal bearing. He was followed by another individual who straddled one of the stiff wooden seats the wrong way and never took his eyes off of them. The younger man had a more muscular build and wore an open jacket in deep purple and black. It was hard to miss the resemblance between the two. His eyes were the same red as Elias's, though he lacked the hooves.
I have been grown desperate for a response.
Elias eventually said, folding his arms across his lap.
We had hoped to contain the blight when we saw its first signs. We've been waiting for your arrival for so long. I'm afraid the situation has deteriorated.
Elias reached into a vest pocket and drew out a weighty pouch of gold. He tossed it to Zeke, who caught it reflexively.
Payment for your discretion, as promised.
Zeke felt Nightingale tense on the couch beside him. Zeke cleared his throat in an attempt to recover from his surprise at the gift.
We understand your situation is quite desperate. You could say so.
Elias sunk into his seat, the color draining from his face.
My wife, Rivka. God, I don't know.
You didn't realize that this is going to be Dragon Age, shot on her?
I'll explain. I'll explain, Father.
The young man rested one arm on his father's shoulder.
Yes, Democles? Tell them.
Democles,
tell them. A Blight Guardian penetrated the city defense. It slipped into the estate and attacked in the middle of the night.
Democles said.
One of the guards fell before my mother arrived and destroyed it.
He paused, glancing once in the direction where many of the guards were gathering. His words came slowly.
Unfortunately, she was bitten in the fight. Everything seemed fine until...
He struggled to continue.
She was infected?
Rook supplied.
She's changed into one of them, isn't she?
The group turned to look at Rook, happy that he knew what the blight was. Rook continued, seeing that his friends had no idea.
The blight. It's supposed to be incurable. Once affected, an individual will slowly turn into an abomination. A cure hasn't been discovered. That doesn't mean there isn't one.
Elias glared at them.
I haven't called you here to tell me what I already know.
Rook immediately went silent.
No, of course not.
Zeke kept his voice low, not making eye contact. Respectfully, he hoped. Then he took a chance and assumed that the real help was summoned without many details.
Why are we here exactly?
Elias raised an eyebrow and then spoke.
You've fought these creatures before. Princess Shalis of Elania has told us that you're the expert on these creatures. Once an individual succumbs to the blight, they're mindless. I've heard they're as dumb as a rock. One of them couldn't even sneak past city guards and through gates into the city at night. It would have attacked the first person it saw. There's no way it could have made it all the way up to the mansion by itself. I'm asking you to help discover how this happened.
Zeke nodded with a blank expression.
Right.
Elias shared a look with his son, then explained further.
We've investigated the grounds with no success so far. There was an incident just a few days before that might be connected. An explosion in the mines. We haven't had a fatal accident in there in 3 decades, and it comes only days before the blight attacks? He shook his head. No, it doesn't feel like a coincidence.
Zeke bumped Nightingale briefly with his knee under the table, meeting her eyes. She nodded, and he looked back to Elias. We'll investigate the explosion, Nightingale said as she stood. Is your wife? Elias rose as well, and his voice was like steel.
Rika is still alive. Her fate is no concern of yours. This is a family matter. You should be concerned that someone tried to assassinate me, the king's appointed duke. I have served Balthazar faithfully. I've helped him explore these wilderlands before this town even existed. I feel that I am owed some assistance.
Of course you are. And you'll have it, Nightingale nodded confidently, though she was a little more subdued than usual.
My son will accompany you to the mines.
Elias put a hand on the man's back.
He can grant you any sort of clearance you might require. Come with me.
Democles strode toward the door.
We don't have time to waste.
Reward! Elias pays the party for their discretion. The party gains 100 gold.
So that's 25 gold I already spent.
Continue to Tell Me the Truth, page 194.
Tell me the truth.
You can't handle... The streets of Hyde were deserted this late at night. Its hard-working populace either asleep or entertaining themselves in Hyde's many taverns. The stone houses lining the street were mostly dark, shutters closed, and windows reflecting the gentle moonlight. Nightingale couldn't help but appreciate just how bright the stars could be on a night hike like this, so high up. She sometimes looked for familiar constellations she remembered from Earth, but of course she never found them. After making their way down a secluded alley, Damocles turned on... Nope, this is not a sentence. Damocles turned on the her.
On her.
with a very angry-looking expression.
So, who are you really?
What? Nightingale stammered and looked to Zeke for some kind of help before he could speak to defend her. Damocles interjected.
I researched the help that was being sent from Melania days ago. It was a well-known pirate crew led by the fearsome giant named Kajax.
Damocles looked directly at Nightingale and took a step toward her and looked down at the small girl.
You look like I would sneeze and accidentally kill you.
The man looked behind her at the others.
And you bunch passed for a hard seafood crew as easily as you could be experts on blight. It's obvious that you had no idea what my dad was talking about.
I like Sifu. It's like Weifu, but not. So good.
Whatever.
Rook moved his hand to his weapon, afraid that things might escalate. Damocles' eyes flashed in his direction, noticing the subtle movement of his hand.
Quick to defend your girlfriend? Watch yourself, big guy. This is my town, and I'll do what it takes to protect it.
What an ass! Damocles shoved past Nightingale and stood defiantly against Rook. Even though the man towered above him, he looked unfazed by Rook's size. Stop it! Nightingale moved to put herself between the two. We're on the same team. Damocles didn't look convinced.
If we're on the same team, then tell me the truth, girl.
I'm Princess Nightingale Arson, second princess of Elenia, daughter of King Balthazar. Damocles stood stunned for a moment, then laughed.
Really?
Nightingale now looked at him defiantly. Yeah, this is my knight, Rook Lars. He's just trying to protect me. Damocles smiled, showing teeth.
Okay, princess.
He said it with a mocking tone.
Why didn't you say so earlier then? My father's good friends with Balthazar. He's the appointed duke. You know.
Nightingale got a quick nod from Zeke, then reluctantly spoke. We're not supposed to be here. Balthazar doesn't know about any of this.
Is that so?
Damocles folded his arms.
It would be strange that a princess would be anywhere as remote as Hyde. We're just a mining town.
He said bitterly.
I would appreciate it if you put aside the trickery next time, princess. My father is so eager for Balthazar's assistance. He's willing to see it even when it hasn't come.
Damocles sighed, then stretched, looking out into the streets of Hyde.
Honestly, so long as you're willing to help me with our problems, I don't care what else you're here. I don't care what else you're up to here.
He looked them over again, as though searching for clues.
If you didn't come to help, though, then what are you really doing in Hyde? We're searching for a Theodosian mage.
Rook said.
Our investigation has led us to believe one passed through recently. Theodosian mage doesn't sound that important.
You got it right! It's so much more fun when you make up fun ways to say it. Damocles shrugged.
I don't have a clue what that is anyway. Some kind of magic, I'm guessing?
Rook nodded.
Rare and incredibly destructive. Most information about it has been lost over the years, so we can't tell you much more.
Damocles started walking again.
If you mean the collapse and entire mine shaft of sort of destruction, we've already on the way to meet someone like that.
What? Nightingale had a surge of excitement. Even a faint possibility that their objective was in sight brought a flood of relief.
Our only clue to attack was the accident my father mentioned.
Damocles said.
Not the sort of accident we're used to either. The story I heard was so strange, I'm still not sure I believe it. We should probably let the jailer explain.
Continue to Justice in the Dungeons, page 1 out of 5.
I wouldn't have believed it either. I can't say his name.
Damocles.
Damocles?
The jailer was an overweight man, and his armor could barely contain him, for all that he seemed energetic enough, and had been happy to receive company.
But the evidence, it's telling there was no trace of blasting powder, and our sire found no traces of an esper either. I would soon believe a swarm of fraggers had been the ones responsible, except we didn't find any of their corpses either.
What's so impossible? Nightingale listened with interest, though occasionally she would glance behind the man to the row of cells that contained only one prisoner. The jailer looked to Damocles for permission to tell these strangers the situation, and Damocles nodded.
It's all right. You can tell them. They're helping with the investigation. Of course, sir.
The jailer gestured to a cell behind him.
I don't know how she did it, but somehow she took out a whole damn section of the mine shaft. The explosion was huge.
The man held his hands out wide.
It was so big that it caused various other sections of the cave to open up.
How big was it?
One Ones we sealed off a long time ago.
I got so excited at me making fun of you.
Second paragraph from the bottom up.
The jailer...
Michaelis turned to the rest of them.
Oh.
This happened around the same time that my mother...
As my mother being infected.
The explosion caused a good portion of our mining operation to come to a halt. We're still trying to figure out which mines haven't been compromised by the creature and which ones haven't.
The jailer shook his head with worry.
We think at least 3 people were caught in the blast, though we're only a few pieces left behind. It's hard to be sure. What was she doing in the mines in the first place?
Zeke asked with a glance at the small girl huddled in the corner of the cell.
No idea.
The jailer scratched his head.
No tools on her? Not so much as a rock pick. Of course, we don't really know how she survived the blast, seeing as she was at the center of it. Not to mention how she didn't even get eaten by all the things let loose from the deeper in the mines. What about the book?
Rook had noticed the girl holding a book tightly against her chest. She seemed to be hugging it close to her as if she was taking comfort in its pages. The jailer shook his head.
That's where it gets really strange. When we found her, she was hiding, covered in, well, dirt. We cleaned her up, took her gear, but we couldn't take the book. What do you mean you couldn't take the book?
Damocles had a stupid look on his face, like the man was being incompetent.
I mean, we physically couldn't take it.
The jailer sounded a bit flabbergasted.
Had some kind of magical property about it? We tried taking it more than once, and each time it ended up back in the cell with her. It even attacked another guard. It didn't do much but cause a mighty lump on his head, though.
Nightingale shrugged, more intrigued than anything.
Doesn't make any damn sense.
The jailer lowered his voice to a whisper, though he spoke only to Damocles. Nightingale could still hear him clearly enough.
Frankly, I'm nervous about keeping her here, sir. An explosion that size right here in town might kill 100 people.
Damocles nodded.
I'd like to speak with her, if that's all right.
It's not okay. That's rude. Nobody's to give you permission.
Of course.
The jailer rose, removing a large keyring from around his belt, and made his way to the door.
You just holler for me if you need any help. We don't have any other prisoners right now, so nobody should bother you. Prisoner, the Duke's son is here to have a chat. You best behave yourself.
There was no answer. In the back corner of the cell was a girl, shorter than Nightingale, young-looking and mousy, with huge blue eyes hidden behind even bigger glasses. She sat on her cot with her back against the wall, one hand resting on a worn-looking book. Damocles stepped up to the cage and beckoned to the girl inside.
Explain yourself, girl.
The girl said nothing and instead just scooted further away.
Do you know how many people you have been injured or killed by that explosion?
Again, the girl said nothing. Instead, she buried her head into her lap where her book was. Damocles seemed to get angrier that she wasn't responding.
Are you hearing me? My mother is...
Nightingale put a hand on Damocles' shoulder, and he turned to see her shaking her head. She stood on her tippy toes to reach his ear and whispered, Damocles, let me do the talking for a moment, please. Damocles looked like he was going to make a retort, but instead moved aside. Excuse me. Nightingale stopped right in front of the bars, trying to sound as sympathetic as she could. We need your help. The girl looked up from behind her book to see Nightingale pressing her face between the bars, her horns only letting her head go so far. My friends and I are in a bit of a predicament that we need help with, Nightingale laughed. Actually, you might be the only one who can help us at all. A long moment of silence occurred, and Nightingale had to shush Damocles more than once before the girl finally spoke. You need help from a murderer? I'm not sure that's what you are. Nightingale pulled over a stool from against the wall and sat down. People died, but that might not make you a murderer. Accidents happen. The prisoner nodded. Her eyes were swollen, and there were streaks through the dirt in her face. I don't like hurting people. I didn't mean to. The girl tensed, one hand suddenly rigid as she gripped the book beside her. What do you need help with? There was fear this time, and she was staring openly at them now. I'm Nightingale. These are my friends, Zeke, Remi, and Rook. We've been searching for you. Nightingale could barely contain her nervous energy. What if this girl could save her? The girl hesitated a moment before speaking. I'm Justice. Justice Bouchard, the girl turned. I don't think you want my help. People tend to get hurt around me, and I can't always stop it.
People get hurt around you? Is it because of your magic?
Rook asked excitedly. What? How do you know about that? Justice recoiled a bit. You're the only one who can help us, Justice. You're the only one with Theodosian magic. Nightingale took a gamble and hoped that the girl would react to the words. She did. It was like Nightingale had flipped a switch. Justice snatched up her book, retreating back into the corner of her cell where she was obscured in shadow. Even so, flickers of light seemed to emerge from its pages, twisting around her fingers. You shouldn't know about that. Nightingale ignored her fear. She'd already made progress with honesty. Might as well finish. There's a monster torturing me, Justice. Every day, its grip gets tighter. No matter what I do, it'll kill me soon without your help. Justice set down her book, and her voice returned to the timid, nervous tone she'd been using before. What kind of creature? It's called the Maluma. I don't know what it wants.
I want you.
And now I'm going to be scarred for life. The haunting voice cut through her mind and made her stop talking. Nightingale gritted her teeth, ignoring the involuntary shiver the voice brought on. But we think we can help you if you can help us.
We searched for a cure.
Rook explained, his voice calm.
The only one we found was an obscure reference to Theodosian magic.
Justice slowly climbed to a stand, slinging the book under one arm. She slowly walked all the way to the front of her cell, then looked Nightingale up and down. Maluma? She closed her eyes. I can sense the creature within you. You're telling the truth. Justice shook her head. I don't think I can help you, though. But I might know someone who can.
Excuse me?
Damocles cleared his throat. His voice trembled in an audible attempt to keep himself calm.
It sounds like your mission is important, but my mother is also dying. You found your answer. Now we need to find the one responsible for letting that blight guardian into my family manor. If this girl doesn't know...
For all she'd been timid before, Justice didn't retreat. She eyed Damocles warily. Blighted guardian? I do know. Well, the ones who tried to kill me down in the mines had blighted guardians with them. I don't think the explosion got them all. Damocles seemed too stunned to speak. Nightingale wasn't. What were you doing down there anyway? Justice hesitated. We were looking for something. I tracked it to the mines, but we weren't the only ones looking. Pages. Nightingale wanted to ask what Justice had been looking for, but decided against it. Damocles advanced, forcing her out of the way.
We? Who were you down there with?
Justice looked like she was about to cry. My friends, or acquaintances anyway. We were ambushed, though. I had to use Theodosian to protect myself. The explosion from my spell is what caused the damage to your minds.
One of the men who ambushed you must have got away. The explosion was 2 days before my estate was attacked. Did you see anything?
Damocles had both hands on the bars. Nightingale could see him gripping them so tightly his knuckles had gone white. Yes, Justice answered, taking a step back.
Tell me. Tell me everything. Anything you saw might help us find those who were responsible.
Damocles insisted. Justice looked to Nightingale and saw that she had the same hopeful look as Damocles. Look, I can take you there, to where they might be hiding in your minds, but you need to let me go if I do.
You're not in a position to make demands.
Damocles glowered at her through the bars.
Share what you know, and I'll ask for leniency for you. It's more than generous.
No. Justice shook her head. They tried to kill me. I was only defending myself. I didn't mean to cause so much destruction. So here's my counteroffer. You get me out, and I'll help both of you. First, I lead you to the one who commanded those blighted guardians. Then, I'll take you to the only person I know that can help with the Maluma. Damocles scowled but said nothing. Do you swear on your life? Nightingale asked. On my life, Justice replied. New party member! Justice joins the party. Players must immediately set up Justice by going through the following steps. Reveal small, medium, and large hidden cards UM19 to access the Justice Bouchard initiative card. Story item and adventurer cards. Justice gains the Book of Theodosian story item. The story item is double-sided and may be equipped as either a relic or a weapon. Justice joins the party with uncommon armor, Marba's threads. The uncommon relic, Collar of the Even Rule, and 50 gold. If Marba's threads or the Collar of Even Rule are not available, she joins with a random uncommon armor or relic instead. Then Justice gains 25 XP. She may learn any disciplines she has enough XP for. Record all of this information on the adventure sheet. From this point forward, players may choose to play as Justice using her adventurer card. Players are still limited to 4 adventurers in the active group. I forgot to write that part down here last time, but we didn't get that far. Okay, so she's got 25 XP. And 50 gold. Continue to story round, hide exploration, page 198. Tip, additional party members. It's possible to have more than 4 party members. In these cases, players may only choose 4 to be considered part of their active group. However, players may trade out their active group when instructed to do so, usually during story rounds. Sometimes adventurers will narratively split up or otherwise forcibly be used. We strongly recommend keeping all of your adventurers properly geared out, even when they aren't chosen as part of the active group. What is the main difference? I missed it.
Between the relic version and the weapon version.
Cool. So let's go through. Book of Theodosian, Spellcraft Tome, double Justice only. So only Justice can use it. Using it as a weapon is 2 red die. It is a double-handed melee weapon, so she hits people with the book. The passive ability is going to give a casting upgrade to a green die, which is kind of cool. When it is exhausted, spend up to 2 SP to add the same amount of time tokens as ability tokens to your adventurer card. Limit 2. While this weapon is equipped, you may spend these time tokens as if they were SP, so it gets additional stamina points. As a relic, once per encounter, place a time token on any unoccupied space within Sphere of Influence.
Can you shift it up just a little bit? The bottom's cut off.
Sorry about that. Throw the book at him. When you end your turn, remove this token and warp to the space it occupied. So one of them is going to give her more stamina. The other one is going to allow her to warp around the board. That's kind of cool. The Marba's threads, which actually are kind of cool, is a exhaust to dodge. If the attack deals no damage, it's an unexhaust the card encounter, so it's a bit of an upgrade to the shirt. Passive, during a dodge, if you don't roll a skull, add +2 shields to the result. Or you can exhaust for 2 stamina points, warp to any unoccupied space within Sphere of Influence. Okay, so she's warpy, warpy, warpy. Collar of Even Rule, passive, if you do not have the heavy tag, this relic gains +1 defense. That is cool. So this is Justice's card here. Does this mean the Marba is naked somewhere? Yes. Yes, it does. Naked and alone. That's weird. Why did you make him naked and alone? Rude. Everything is dusty. Justice Bouchard, Temporal Cavitation. Justice was chosen by the Grimoire of Theodosian. Interesting. All figures within Justice's sphere of influence, including herself, are dealt a purple magic damage. 2 SP, once per encounter. Her conviction die are 2 purple die. Her casting die is a purple die as well. Health 12, defense 9, movement 6, presence 2, lore 6, agility 3, perception 6, strength 1. She ain't very strong.
She's a bigger book nerd than Rook is.
Yeah. How about them apples, Brocephus? All right, continue the story round. Hide exploration, page 198. So
we get a shopping phase and stuff like that, and then we get to go on the main quest because that's the only option.
So you did the shopping phase.
Yeah, I did. I did a quick buy of some armor
for yourself. And nobody else?
Yeah.
Rude. I'm going to add the 25 gold for everybody else. So that is going to put Remi up to
Rook could wield justice.
88, probably. Nightingale, that
I
is
borrowed
going.
money from Podrick. I'll
Yes.
pay him back.
It's going to put Nightingale up to 106 gold. Zeke is going to go to 85 gold. I feel like Matt just spent all his money. How does he have gold left?
I don't know.
Podrick and Justice aren't going to get any additional gold. Justice is 50 gold. How did you? Oh yeah, he stole money from Podrick.
And how much gold do you have?
I have 88 gold.
What is your current armor? What is it? Common?
It's the hoodie deflection. Ugh.
The other side. What is it? It's a common.
Yeah. I think Marba's threads were the upgrade that I was actually one of the two
there's
upgrades.
Morbus leather, which I think is the one you were looking for.
Oh, is it a difference? What's it?
When you're making a dodge roll, you get to reroll dodge. It's +1 armor, +8 health. And then reduce physical damage being dealt to you by physical attacks by 2. If you make an attack that exceeds the opponent's defense by more than 2, deal +2 physical damage. And when you're attacked by an opponent that you are flanking, you get +1 defense.
Yeah, I think that was the one that I was looking
It's
at.
100 gold. So and that sells back for 10. So you're 2 gold short.
Okay. What if I sold? Because I still have this stupid club.
What is? Aren't that over?
It's Unique.
It's a common unique.
Yeah.
Common unique.
Kenjio wants to know what Nightingale is in need of. So Kenji, if you go ahead and check out the gear grid there, that's a good place to start to look and see what the what the current layout is. But this is a great point that if you folks want to take a minute to chat about what items based off of that current gear grid that you'd like to look into upgrading would be, then that would be good.
So, unique comment gets you 20 gold.
Shadowner beat you so fast. So this would give me 20 gold. We don't need this club, right?
No.
All right, so I'm going to sell the club.
Okay. You want that armor?
How much is the armor?
100 gold.
So that would leave me with 8 gold?
You get 10 gold back for the armor you currently have.
So it would leave me with 18 gold. Yeah, it's going to reduce my movement, though, which I'm not super stoked about. That was aggressive. I saw the new Jumanji reboot sequel, and in it... No, just kidding. That was not... Oh, yeah, it was. They had the Be Aggressive, and I laughed very loudly in the theater. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Okay.
So that's what you got.
The club only has interesting icon use for a character with courage.
Because it's 4 shields and a star, and you do a bunch of stuff. But it's also a common level, which it uses 2 teal dice, which isn't that great now. We want to start upgrading to
Stuff.
higher stuff.
So I just picked up the morbid leather. So Josh went over a couple of the items, a couple of the important points about it. This is one of the things that Josh and I were discussing. So do we want to redo my stats?
Yes. So you lost
A movement.
You lost the movement. All right, a second.
So many HPs. Yeah, because I'm constantly dying.
All right, so your health is going to go up by
8. Unless, what's the health there?
+2 on here.
So 6. So 19. If that's the right one. I don't know if it's the right one. You're just bringing stuff up.
20.
Hey now.
And then if this gave you 0 armor, this is going to give you
+1.
+1, so you're going to be at 2 armor then?
Yeah. 1 from the Zambato.
Yep.
And 1 from the morbid
And
leather.
you're going to go down to 6 movement though.
Yeah, it's kind of poopy. I'm not super excited about that part. That's fine. I still have fly.
Okay, and then this is what I got for myself.
You got ancient full plate. And this is for Rook?
Yep. So it gives me 2 additional armor.
When you're the target of an attack, even if you are dealt damage, counter. Oh, yeah, go figure. You got that.
Yep.
It's also got the heavy marker, the heavy tag on it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, it's the only rule I'm playing with the updated is since Rook's character was so bad, they made it so he ignores heavy for the first item he has. So he ignores heavy.
You can't mix rule sets.
I'm mixing rule sets.
If I had to buy this thing, you need to get it too.
Rook's character was so bad that he gave him that one thing.
I don't know if I believe you.
It's true.
So then shouldn't we be playing with other new updated rules?
I don't remember them all off the top of my head. That's the only one I remember that's not a huge thing. The other ones are all like page-long things.
Hey guys, actually I'm really awesome. Cheating. Thank you. Thank you. I was waiting for that.
And I get +4 health.
Oh no, cheat? Yes. The other new rules include changes to the skill tree order and actual skill function.
Which is a lot harder to keep track of than Rook can have 1 heavy item now. Because that's why in the whole mass thing, he's like slow behind everyone because he's wearing the cheat stuff. It's fine. Put the cheat counter up. It's fine.
You're cheating.
Thank you, Ann. Yeah, they also do limit gore shot to 1. Oh, they keep changing it, so I don't know where it is currently. I don't know where this was.
I didn't mean to knock it down, Joshua. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That was not fun. So rude. Yell at me so loud. It's so aggressive. It's very unkind. All better, princess.
Okay.
Card ninja. Okay. So
How much gold does Zeke have?
Zeke has 85 gold. But Nightingale was before you go. Leave Zeke alone.
Yeah, I'm looking for Nightingale stuff too. I don't remember what they wanted though.
Do you have Discord? Was it discussed in there?
Yeah, and it's probably like far behind in there. I don't.
Maybe try asking.
Here are the magic items for them. Gray stuff D.
That's none of the things you gave me.
That's all I have. I don't know. Oh, I'm the evil doll.
Okay. I'm chunking down pizza, so I apologize for the quiet. Okay. Wand of Coiled Fragments was an option that Josh had pulled. Why don't you check the Discord while... Instead of, you know, shutting the door in your own face. I don't know how it feels. You're missing one. Yeah, I'm sure he is. So, Wand of Coiled Fragments is one of the options.
Oh.
How interesting. Okay. We will get to that one last. This is to upgrade the wand. Okay. So the current wand is the Wand of Hindsight. So this would be, so does the exhaust mean we can choose after the roll? Here we go. Exhaust once per encounter. Place a plank token on any space within sphere of influence. This token replaces all terrain types except obstructing terrain. That's weird. Exhaust. When determining the force of a spell, roll your casting die and both of your conviction dice as and choose one to use. No, I think you have to choose to do this first and then do the roll. And that would be a possible upgrade for the Wand of Hindsight. Another option here would be the Soul Carver. That's cool. So this would get rid of the wand, I'm assuming. And this would be going into like a melee. Spellcraft Scythe and also has the heavy tag. We have to update the weapon, right? Yeah. What does the heavy tag do, Joshua?
-1 movement.
So this would have passive reach 2, casting upgrade to red, which is really cool. This weapon has a red and a green melee attack die, cast a spell 6, and inflict condemn. Joshua, what does condemn do?
I have to check. Condemned, roll a black die. If the result is a skull, you are defeated. So every at the beginning of your turn, you have to roll a black die. 1/6 chance that you die.
Another option would be the Blooming Tome. So now, would this replace the Book of the Antiquity? No, probably not.
Depends how you do it.
Want to build it?
Yeah.
So this is be a casting upgrade to green. After resolving a spell you cast, if that spell is still available to use, cast the same spell again. That would be a flip, though, which are harder to get back than exhausts or once per encounter. If you exhaust it, you would roll a black die. If you roll 3 or more books, remove an effect from an ally within the sphere of influence. And then this one, if you use it as a melee weapon, is 1 red die and as a one-handed weapon. So you just smack somebody upside the head with the red die. Time of Blooming Onion. Are you sure this isn't a card from Wednesdays? Maybe. Check the flip side of Blooming Tome. Hey now. Passive, you still have the upgrade to green. At any time, you may spend 3 SP. Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that. That's great. So this has got a more flexible way to unflip this card. So anytime you may spend 3 stamina points to unflip this card. If the other weapon you have is equipped as a spellcraft weapon, reduce the SP to unflip this card by 1 SP. So the Apocryphal Antiquity is the other one, and it is a spellcraft item, so this one would only be 1 SP to redo. Yeah, man, they've got some decisions. Evil Dolls, another option. Casting upgrade to red, these are great casting upgrades. When making an attack or casting a spell that targets an opponent, empower. Empower means that you're going to roll the black die, and if you roll the skull, then your attempt misses. If not, you'll use the icons from the roll to boost your attack. While empowering a spell, when you roll 4 books on the black die, deal an opponent within sphere of influence 6 magic damage. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. And last but definitely not least is the Iridescent Staff. Casting upgrade. Excuse me. Woo. I like the Joker references I can make from Evil Doll too. Which is better for casting, red or green?
For casting.
That's a good question.
Green's slightly better.
Why?
4 is the lowest you can roll on a green, while 9 being the highest. Well, red is 3 is the lowest, and 9 is the highest.
What are the books? Is it the same book?
Red has more books, but that doesn't matter for casting. Huh. So red is 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and green's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Red has more books. Okay. Casting upgrade to red. When determining the force of a spell, tokens on this card may be spent to add +1 to your roll, which begs the question, how do you get tokens on the card? When you fail to, you can exhaust the staff so that when you fail to affect a target with a spell, add 1 stamina point token as an ability token to this card, limit 3. Or you can exhaust the card for 1 stamina point, cast a spell 6, deal your target a green die of magic damage. Scrap all the two-handed things straight up. Okay, so the two-handed things are, so books are good for conviction. The Iridescent is the Soul Carver, and the Iridescent are the two-handed items. items. And I'm going to put that Wand of Hindsight to the side. Again, if you want to see that card, you can go check out that gear grid link there. Why scrap two-handed? These are important questions. Oh, so if you did the two-handed, it would replace both the wand and the book. Can the book be a relic? No, it's a weapon. But you still have the ring. Because I like the blood book letting us pew all the things. Excellent point.
You still have the blood ring, though.
Yeah, but you would be sacrificing one of the options. We don't need the book or wand if we go melee mage. Do we want to do melee mage?
And question?
Possibly I may have an answer for you.
Are you going to use that dagger you have? Or is it just going to sit in your pack?
It may just sit in my pack. What do you want?
I'm just curious how it was this for Zeke build, because it's the backstabbing dagger, is it not?
She's been dying often, though, right? The pews hit harder with red. She's been dying often, though. You're considered to be flanking regardless of your position, so long as there's another ally adjacent to the opponent you are attacking.
And he could be flanking now with rocks and terrain, so he could be flanking with the walls.
What's he going to give me?
I don't know. Can I see the dagger?
Sure. Look at it. Remi has been dying. Not night. Oh, yeah, Remi's been dying a whole lot. We've only died once. Joshua, you need to read chat so I can eat my pizza.
And that was early game. We've only died once, and that was early game, is what they said. Oh, this does come with backstab.
You come with backstab.
So I'm thinking going knife. That was before infection.
Zeke's build is less important right now than knife.
I'm letting chat discuss with themselves as I'm looking at this.
You need to be an active participant.
Okay.
A host.
Host the most?
No, Beetlejuice. What was this with the... Where's that hand going? How many bodybuilding competitions have you seen?
I don't know. None. I don't watch your stuff. If we go melee, then we also have the potential for replacing the hemlock because we wouldn't need the Spear of Influence increase as much. That is true.
Well, look at
Hmm?
SF.
SF?
Spear.
Spear?
No.
Spear.
No.
Spear.
F. I'm literally...
They want to get the spear so they can spear things in their spear. You want to spear me? That sounds weird. Dirty.
You made it dirty. I would make it dirty.
Yeah, no. What does Condemn do? It makes it a status effect. They have to roll a black die in the beginning of their turn. If they roll a skull, they die. Which is kind of cool. And the book's a common weapon, and it's a mundane, unique weapon, which is... Nightingale's health stat is 12 for the enemy, has strong melee attacks. It's a big risk. Yeah. Oh, you're at 13. 27, maybe.
Oh, Mirkspot's got a interesting question. With the Condemn, might be neat if they have a way to get the enemy to reroll the black die. Does the dress do that? Is the dress the one with the black die?
That lets them reroll a dodge die. So if you sold both the book and the wand, that would give you 25 gold. How much gold do you have currently?
Nightingale currently has 106 gold. It would give him how much gold?
25.
So the max amount of gold that we're really looking at is 131.
Yeah.
So then both of these items would be out of reach, the two-handed items. I mean, we can obviously we can wait. We can't make enemies reroll. We could obviously wait. Or if you really wanted these items, we could lend, I got 18 gold that I could lend. Josh is already in debt.
Yeah.
Because he's impatient.
The only thing is you're going to lose the extra reroll of the wand, which can be nice sometimes, but just recall we do have all other 3 characters are melee characters. So coming in could be good or bad. Being melee with us. The reach would probably be the most helpful.
What's the motivation for melee?
You can't hear them.
I'm asking you to...
Ian's asking what the motivation for melee is. I vote for the Blooming Tome instead of the wand, if anything, and remain ranged.
This is kind of cool for how they have it built up.
Yep. Great, that will allow you to cast Organic Liquefy twice in a row for an extra 2 SP technically. Because the on-flip, it costs 2 SP to on-flip it with the other book. The on-flip, it costs 2 SP if there's another spellbound item, and their other book is a spellbound. So it costs them 2 SP to undo it, and they could double cast Organic Liquefy. Which could be good. The tomb's pretty solid. Tomb.
A tomb is where you put dead people.
Maybe you put dead people in the book. Those look like dead flowers.
People are not flowers.
Flowers, maybe some flowers are people. You don't know. There could be flower people in Middara. Don't be so quick to judge. What? Hearing only half the conversation is hilarious. Yeah, but it is.
I mean, Josh's part of the conversation is the funny half of the conversation. But he's sitting here telling me...
You can't see my face. You can only see Anne's reactions, too. Which probably makes it even better. So you hear me, see Anne's reactions. Trying to figure out what she's saying back to me. I think Zeke would really like this pair. Well, chat's talking about what they're going to do. And sensible enough that you can predict her.
Wait. Let's back this train on up. What am I getting for this?
I don't know.
I died for this. Literally, I died for it. This was the quest where I had nothing, and the stupid Waterloa came and killed me. So, Matt's going to have to make a really great deal.
He'll give you his next cool item he finds.
No, he won't.
What would you like for it?
I don't know yet.
What is it? A unique uncommon?
Correct.
Q.
Remi took an injury to the leg. I took an arrow to the knee, buddy. I took an arrow to the knee.
You could sell it for 30 gold, so I'll give you 30 gold for it.
Iridescent lets us spend 1 SP to cast a spell 6 for a green die of damage. That's like a super gore shot without the cost. That's an important thing to consider.
You guys can still be ranged with it, and then the few times you do get melee, you can actually defend yourself.
But it would replace, again, both the book and the wand. Yeah, but we can't afford it,
We'll move a little money around to make it so you guys can afford it.
If that's the way you want to go. But I don't know if we're still at the basic conversation of the overarching what do we want to do with the build? So, what are some important questions, Josh? And maybe we can do some polls to narrow down some decisions.
Well, I mean, I think they're between 2 of them. They're between the book and the
I think the conversation is, I think I literally just...
But they're really between 2 items right now. That's all their discussion right now, right? Is the book and the staff?
I think the conversation is what kind of mage do they want? I'm just trying to increase damage output is my thinking. Nobody's got wrong thinking. I didn't mean to imply that.
even with the... I mean, all the weapons can be melee weapons. They all have a melee side to it. So it's not... They're really talking about the two different types of what the benefit is of going to the two-handed weapon versus the two books, right? So that's really the question. I
like these kinds of conversations, honestly. Hi. I really like these conversations because it means that like we're talking, we're trying to decide and work out these things.
So we already have 3 melee fighters, so it'd be hard to get in. Is what they're saying. The same point, if you do get the what is it, the staff or the indecent? I don't know what kind of weapon is it.
Okay, but say it again.
Indecent?
No, I love it.
The staff. It's a melee weapon. Yeah, it boosts. So you can still be melee. You could be ranged with it, but the thing is, if something comes up and tries to hit you, you can actually like poke it back in the face. Or you can smack it with your books.
I hit you with books. It's pretty effective. But 2, you are losing. Green is 4 to 9 magic damage.
Yep. And red is 3 to 9. So, what green's the book? Oh, yeah. Do the green damage.
Burst.
But it's a red casting upgrade.
Nobody cares about Zeke. And you're not getting my rune switcher. Why you gotta break everything? Option 1. So I think that's where the conversation really is right now. Either the iridescent or dueling with the tomes, the blooming tome and the apocryphal antiquity.
So the blooming tome also has a cool effect of roll the black die. If you roll 3 or more books, remove an effect from an ally within sphere of influence. So it's a way to actually get rid of some negative status effects, which you don't have any way to do. And then the flip is you can cast organic liquefy. We lose the book, which gains us 1 HP for a gore shot, but gain the exhaust attack, lose the reroll, but gain the ability to raise our spell force with tokens. That's true.
This is so good. I really like this conversation.
What?
This conversation.
Okay.
I like this kind of stuff. Where you're like sitting here and hashing out stuff and figuring out like why what makes sense with what.
I think blooming tome will make you a little bit more supportive. The incandescence could be a little bit more glass canny. Read it. That's my thinking, Josh, about the status effects, but I also tend to favor heal builds, not glass cannons. Glass cannons. Would it be better to save our gold for now? I looked ahead. The next fight looks like it's going to be pretty difficult, so wouldn't it be bad to have a little bit of upgrades? We're actually going to be fighting some new enemies and lots of stuff. And Anne doesn't want to share her rune switchblade with Zeke.
No, I don't.
No one can hear what you're saying. Right now, we're undergeared for what we're going into, in my opinion.
Josh seems to agree with that. Because you cheated and looked ahead.
I set the board up for tonight. That's all I did. We can't do subquest. The only subquest we could do is the bounty, if we wanted to do the bounty. But I don't know how much that would really give us. Do you guys want to do the bounty? FYI, Anne, it's taking you like 2 hours to eat that pizza. One slice of pizza.
Look, Judgy McJudgerson.
You can't see Anne's face, but the look she's giving me. We can do the bounty at any shop phase since there's only one in the base game. Yep. Bounty might be good just to see what our needs are combat-wise. Anne is taking her time to savor her food.
TYVM.
And what are your thoughts? Thank you.
I think we should put a poll up. The money shouldn't be an issue. It's 140.
Yeah.
Nightingale's got 106. Zeke could be more than happy to lend her money to make up to the
If I get
140.
a dagger.
No, he's not getting a stupid dagger. He's not getting my rune dagger because you're over here trying to steal all my cool stuff without trying to give me anything for it.
I don't have any. I
and that's
offered
rude.
you money.
It's rude.
I
it's
offered
rude.
you money.
And you offered me what I could sell it to the shop for.
Exactly.
No, this is not how we negotiate. Give me cool stuff or take a hike.
Do you want a fortune cookie?
Do you want a cookie? Did you just ask me if I wanted a cookie?
Do you want a fortune
That's
cookie?
not what you said. You just asked me.
Do you want a fortune cookie? That's what I asked you.
You just asked me if I wanted a cookie.
I asked if you wanted a fortune cookie.
You're so rude. So rude. Let's propose that Nightingale might want to go shiny melee staff after those last few battles. I think that we should put up a poll. Or is that what you're doing? That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And let's pull this one out. And we'll make the money work. So whether we get the tome or we get the iridescent, we'll do that. I think that we've really talked through the advantages of either build or disadvantages or questions. And if anybody else, if you have a question that's coming up too about the advantages or disadvantages of these various builds, please make sure that you're asking because, oof, now this became a discussion about food. Pizza is so yummy. It became a conversation about how Josh thinks I'm a serial killer because I eat my pizza terribly. Yeah. And I'm originally from New York. So, I mean, I do know how to eat pizza. But
do you really?
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to fold it. You're supposed to eat it with a fork and a knife like a heathen.
I think that's better than what you're doing to the pizza.
No, it is not.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm having cheesecake, so it's all good conversation.
What kind of cheesecake?
Oh,
red
Paul just
velvet.
went to 50-50.
Oh, man, this is exciting. I'm excited by this. Red velvet cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory with fresh whipped cream. My favorite.
But you're still in Florida. That's not even pizza. The place I actually have here is pretty good. It's not quite New York pizza, but it's close. I stopped eating pizza when I moved to Florida. I don't eat it that often.
Joshua.
Yes.
Your diet consists of steak.
It should be in chat. There should be a vote option.
And steak.
Yep.
And steak.
Yeah. I make good steak.
Okay, while this is not untrue, you say I stopped eating pizza. Like you have a wide,
I used to eat pizza.
varied, you have a diverse diet.
Top of the chat window, yeah. I don't know if it works on mobile, but it should be there. You could also vote with your bits because that's a thing.
Okay, can you explain that and not explain it in a way that's inappropriate?
Bits are money things that you get from Twitch, and you can use them to adjust how many votes you put in. You click on the thing and it says like bits or something. I haven't done it, so I don't know. Just know that you can. It's a little checkbox I put in there, and it says yes, allow bits. Not in mobile.
Is it? That's stupid. So how does Kenji get to vote?
I don't know.
Well, we need to make this happen because everybody's voice is important, Joshua. You can't just discount people, Joshua.
I don't know.
You can't be discount Josh.
5-4 right now.
Kenji, if you tell us your vote in chat, if you're comfortable with that, then we'll make sure that your vote counts for the option. The only icon is the Amazon blacksmith. Are they not? Oh! I will still count your vote. So make sure, like, if you tell me if you're comfortable with it, we will not consider it final until...
You having fun?
Yeah. I wish I could do that better. There's people that could like do bloop 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 bloop.
Uh-huh.
You know, you talk about the faces I give you all the time, but are you gonna look at that miserable mug right there? That's not the face you make it me.
Space full of sunshine. And
what?
I don't know.
And what?
I don't know.
Where are you going with this?
Not sure.
That's
Why
not
your
the
glass
face.
is so crooked.
Yeah, they really are. That was really bad.
This is you.
It was me. Because they were sitting funky on the thing.
Uh-huh.
Whatever.
Phew, I'm glad that the chat and I think the same. All right, so they want the staff.
The iridescent. Okay, so the Wand of Hindsight is going to get sold, as well as the Apocryphal Antiquity Joshua.
All right, and I said that was 25 gold.
I don't know. I don't know what you said. I don't listen to you. I don't know if you know this, Joshua.
Yeah, 25 gold.
Wait, but I don't listen to you. Folks, thank you for like bringing the discourse today and the conversation. I really like that. That was cool. All right, we will update the gear grid photo tonight. But we are replacing the Apocryphal Antiquity tome. It's not, I mean, it doesn't say tome in the title, whatever. And the Wand of Hindsight, which means we are almost broke. You know, it means you are actually broke. So Nightingale had 106. We sold the thing for 25.
Yeah, the two items were 25, yes.
So we're up to 131. And then we just purchased the iridescent for 140. Not listening is a good way to keep your sanity. No, what are you sorry for? No, I love the rants. I love the questions. This is what this is about. The reason we do this show live on Twitch and not like pre-recorded on Facebook or anything like that is because it's like this is meant to be a discourse. This is meant to be a conversation. This is meant to be interactive. So, no, man, it's so awesome. I love it. Hey, you know, Matt sent me a thing about Push. You don't know who Pusha T is. Never mind. I'm not finishing this conversation with you. But he apparently came up with the McDonald's jingle and then the Arby's jingle too. But he lost a lot of money on the McDonald's jingle, and I had no idea that Pusha T wrote it. Also, I did not know that a stupid jingle was worth as many millions of dollars as it was. Honorable Twitches can differ. Yeah. Okay. So you need $9, and we're gonna steal that from Podrick. I mean borrow. So that puts Podrick's money right now down to 23 because it is the Great Bank of Podrick. So Rook borrowed 11, Knight borrowed 9. Knight is spelt with a T. That goes down to Sero. Did you write this? You did. That's how you write your G's?
I don't know.
You know, Joshua, for all of the atrocious handwriting you have, the G's are actually really pretty.
Okay.
Matt's handwriting is terrible.
I don't know how I wrote my G's, so.
Like that.
Okay.
Joshua, you want to run through the iridescent one more time real quick to talk about what the changes are that we made for Nightingale by purchasing this item?
They have 2 red dice with their attacks, which is actually really good.
Yeah, it's really
actually better than Zeke at the moment.
You're so salty. Can you do this with a little less salt? A little less...
It's also better than you at the moment. How does that make you feel?
Now you're just being hateful.
All right. It's a cast and upgrade to a red. And when determining the force of the spell, tokens on this card may be spent to add +1 to your roll. So you can exhaust this card, and when you fail to affect a target with a spell, add +1 SP token as an ability token on this card. Limit 3. So every time you fail, you get a token, which you can make it so you fail less. Then you can also exhaust it to do 1 SP, cast the spell 6, deal target a green die of magic damage.
Joshua, why do you do that with the camcorder? Then I can't reach or be in the camera. It's very rough life choices.
What are you mumbling?
Nothing. Cool. All right. That was it. Okay, Zeke. Now we can go to Zeke's turn. I know you're very excited about Zeke.
I wanted to get this with the knife you had.
Yeah, you sure did. So Joshua wants to purchase the glass dagger for Zeke, which would replace what?
His guitar.
So what would that mean for the change for the build?
He loses the passive of 2 armor piercing, but he keeps the backstab. He gains the throw ability. And then he has this exhaust ability that he never uses when he powers during the flank attack to reroll a black die. But he never did that, so it doesn't really matter. This has the possibility of when rolling for a dodge against the melee attack, each book roll deals 1 magic damage to your attacker. And he could reroll his black die a bunch.
That's cool.
Dodging. So it's cool, and it gives him a dodge too. The Rune Switchblade is a combo knife. Look at that, we have another knife. You're considered to be flanking regardless of your position, so long as there is another ally adjacent to the opponent you are attacking. But we got this other cool ability. Dead End. Passive. You treat obstructing terrain as an ally for the purpose of flanking. So as long as it's up against the wall, Zeke's flanking it.
Ridiculous.
Which means he has backstab, which means he has +3 to his rolls and +5 damage.
So if I give you this Rune Switchblade,
Yes.
then I get the pick of whatever cool items I want, either now or in the future.
Sure.
One cool item.
Okay.
We're being recorded.
Yeah.
So we can go back to this.
Another exhaust for a dodge. So he's dodgy. And then cast an upgrade to teal. Or cast an upgrade.
Can't test our weapons. Clip it now. Because you're going to be like, I never said that.
No.
That's how you say those things. What do you mean no?
Is there an item you want off of Zeke right now?
No. It's got garbage, and you tried to give me a cookie last time.
The cookie's kind of cool.
You're a cookie.
The cookie's add a white die or a purple die.
You know when you do something really well, and I'm like, do you want a cookie? Like, that's what do you want a cookie is. Just kidding.
How much gold does Zeke have?
85 before the purchase.
All right, it costs 90. But his weapons, he has 2 weapons he's selling back for 10 each, so it's 20 back. So he has 15 gold left.
Sure. So then I don't need the thief dagger.
No, you could sell that if you want.
How much does it sell for? A mundane weapon.
Mundane is 5 gold.
Okay, so take the... Because that's not... Nobody's going to want that. Nobody needs it. So then that puts me to 23 gold.
Would you have rather upgraded a weapon over your armor, or...?
No.
Okay.
I do think the weapons got to go next because these weapons aren't going to hit as hard as I want them to. And I know we were looking at a couple of options.
Okay.
But I think that the armor it was more important to upgrade the armor for me.
Okay.
I think we need to go back and look at what those weapons are. Plus, I just got the the Badman's Book of Baddie things, so I think that this is going to be different. Okay, so story round, shopping phase, all done.
Yep. So chat was talking about maybe doing the bounty instead of the main quest. Do we want to put a pull up for that, or do we want to go on the main quest? Now that we got the weapon out of the way.
Does the bounty include a new map setup?
Yes.
What time is it?
It is 10:10.
No. And actually...
I figured we'd probably stop here. Anyway.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Okay, so then if we do that, then we could put a poll up.
Okay.
And that way we'll know what to do next time. Okay. So, Joshua, we are going to we're going to take a pause here. The main quest is that we can go into the mines and do the research with Justice. I wonder, do we have to take Justice into the main quest?
I don't believe so.
This doesn't really... This isn't... Okay. Or we can do the bounty. Josh, what is the bounty?
We actually go after a blight, I believe.
But
I don't remember what the bounty is called.
What is a bounty?
It's like a special side quest. It's like a reward bounty, like kind of like we found a reward poster and we went after it. I like how we do it at mid-story. They'll be like, yeah, we're going to go to the caves after we do this bounty.
Yes, Justice has 25 XP for her build. If that's something that y'all want to talk about in Discord on ways to build Justice, was the part we met Justice in the main quest? Yes. No, it was prior to the main... Well,
it's the main quest, but there's a story around in between.
We have not started the main quest for the mines yet, if that's what the question was. Justice has both 25 XP as well as 50 gold. So if that's something we want to discuss in Discord as to how to build her, that's something we can definitely do. Also, just as a reminder, I know by default Twitch you guys usually play as Nightingale, but if you would like to take a night and play as either Podrick or now Justice is a choice, and if you let us know in Discord, the day of the show or the day before the show, we'd be more than happy to have you guys try out a different character. So you're not locked in to Nightingale. So we will put up a picture also of Justice's information, and if we want to discuss in Discord what kinds of items we may want to purchase for her or what sort of things we would want to spend XP on for skills, that would be a good conversation. So next week we are going to pick up either doing the main quest, which would be searching in the mines, or as Josh said, we can do the bounty. Quicker, picker, upper. Bounty. Josh has a poll up right now for what us to do next week. What to do next? I mean, it's correct. Do you know how to spell bounty just because of the paper towels?
No.
Every time I think of paper towels, I think of your father telling us that millennials have killed the napkin industry.
It's true.
He's not wrong. It was just a very interesting comment.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
I'm fine with the main quest. I think we're good now. We got some upgrades.
Nice shirt.
You got some armor so you won't die. As much. How much XP does Rook have?
Why are you so rude? 8.
8?
8.
I could look at a new skill.
Politeness? Is politeness a skill?
No. Everyone wants to do the main quest.
Sounds good.
You want to read the main quest? It's like
we do.
paragraphs.
Main quest to the mines?
Yep.
All right. You want to take down the poll?
It will finish off in a minute. It's got the little timer on the bottom. You can see it going down.
I can't see it going down because I'm blind. Oh, that's what the line is.
Yeah, that's what the line is. And then we'll go away. I don't think it's going to get beat out by bounty.
Why not?
Unless someone comes in the last second.
There could be a last minute slide. Woo! We gotta fix this camera recorder. Crack armor proficiency. Is that a skill?
I'm gonna look.
You're this is what he does when he doesn't want to answer stuff. He just ignores it and keeps on going.
I can go for a martial level 2 skill, or I can go back to the Sanctus discipline and get maybe a heal and support skill. Someone did vote for bounty.
2 people.
Could have been a sub. Subs get double votes. If you're submarine sandwich.
Public sub?
No, any sub.
Down Periscope?
I've never seen that movie.
I haven't. How do you know that? Why do you know that?
Because it's me and Matt talk about it, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. It's such a good movie. So let's get no votes. I can't yell at Twitch.
Isn't there an API? Can't you make it?
This is their API. This is built in and everything done, made by Twitch.
But can't you?
I can't modify it now. Go back to the old one we used, which uses chat commands.
Damocles led them to the mines. The entrance was quite large, nearly 20 feet wide, and stretched back into the mountain. I have no concept of space. The even light of glowstones shone from within, and tracks for mine carts ran down the center. Are there going to be dwarves?
Only 7 of them.
Hi-ho. There were no miners now. That's because the dwarves went home. Though
They're all in school.
What?
The miners are in school.
You're such a dweeb. You're such a dweeb.
True story. My mom was very confused when the whole miner thing happened in Chile. Because she was very confused why a bunch of kids were in the mines. True story.
I love.
She figured it out, but like first thought was she thought they meant minors, like kids.
There is one member of your family where if you had told me that story, I would have told. Like if you told me a story and said somebody in my family did this, who do you think it was? There's definitely a person I would have automatically pegged. And it was
sister.
It was not your. I could definitely have some minotaurs. Oh, at least Doc is watching them. He must have a teaching degree. Yeah, right. There's a. She thought there. That is a very, yeah. All right, well then. Now I know where she got that from. There were no miners now, though there were a half dozen guards. They were about to stop the group until they saw Damocles.
Probably shouldn't go in there, sir.
One of the guards stepped up.
We still haven't cleared the place from the aftermath of the accident. We nearly lost 3 men yesterday, and that was just from the unstable parts of the mine giving way.
Nightingale noticed the men staring openly at Justice, though none of them dared say anything. Damocles just shrugged.
We're ready for that. Let us through.
He really is. That's like, this guy dude's like your alter ego. Like, Justice took the lead as soon as they were inside, still holding her book under one arm and seeming absolutely confident in her directions. Be prepared. The explosion disrupted many of the nearby caverns that were once sealed off. Soon enough, the group found themselves confronted by creatures in...
Of the mines.
That is not what that says. What does it say, Joshua?
Creatures in of the mines.
In the... of the mines.
Yep.
I think it's very cute. Part of these, like, I tease because they're obvious typos and things that haven't been edited, but it is a little interesting to see the writer's, like, thought process that gets left behind. The mines have seen better days. The walls are uneven and rough, and dead ends and offshoots look common. Justice says that there is more than one way through these mines. She recommends trying to find the alternate path if you're looking for the quickest route. We're not looking for the quickest route. Oh, so we'll also get to fight with Damocles this round.
Yeah, so go to the next page. Please? Thank you. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.
So Josh did set up the board for tonight's fight.
Ed did kill one of the, oh, give me a second.
I hit the right button.
I have it in studio mode again. You can't switch it when it's in studio
Really rude of you. So this is what, I wonder if we can steal the sword of Damocles. Ooh, I wonder. Okay, so this is what the board looks like for the fight that we'll do next week. I'll go over some of the things quickly since we have a little bit of time still. The win condition, an adventurer ends their turn on the blue exit. The blue exit is giant pencil right there. Lose condition, all adventurers are defeated. Special encounter rules. Damocles, beloved son of Hyde. Damocles has decided to help the players. When setting up this encounter, reveal small and large hidden cards UM20 to access Damocles' initiative and command combatant cards. Excuse me. These cards will be used during this encounter. Damocles follows the rules of an adventurer, even though he uses a command combatant card. So this is the command combatant card for Damocles, beloved son of Hyde. I mean, look at him. He looks like a douche. Undeterred. Damocles' unmodified maximum stamina is 6. However, he has immunity Haste. Anytime Damocles is dealt 3 or more damage from a single source, he gains a vow token. Damocles may not exceed 5 vow tokens in total, and he may spend them at any time he chooses. What is a vow token?
Vow token is when you deal damage, deal +2 damage of the same type.
Interesting. Blood Pact. When determining damage, Damocles may deal himself irreducible damage up to his remaining HP to add the same amount of physical damage to his attack. So he has a couple of 0 options here. We could exhaust the card. During an attack, all damage Damocles deals is magic damage instead. Ring of Blood. When Damocles deals damage to an opponent, he heals 2, similar to your Ring of Blood. Hammer Helm, that's what I got. When making an attack, Damocles may re-roll any dice in his combat dice pool. Or Schrodinger's Scythe. This has got better be funny. When determining damage, add +1 physical damage. Follow up, inflict, condemn. Force 13. It's a melee attack with reach 2. Damocles has a conviction die of green and purple with no casting die. He's got 16 health, 12 defense, 6 movement, 2 armor. His combat dice pool are a red die, a green die, and a black die, so he will always empower when he attacks. Interessante, Brocephus. Where did I put his little...
On the book, right in front of you.
Hey, look at that. Okay. And that's him a little initiative card. Following your lead, after dealing the initiative cards, move Damocles to the back of the initiative track. Green, black, and red dice. Yes, correct. Low ceiling. The ceiling in this area is jagged and uneven. Flying would be too dangerous.
Gonna have to walk.
Lame. Adventurers cannot use any ability that would grant flight. In addition, if a figure has flight as a passive ability, they lose this passive ability for this encounter. That's lame. Dynamite! Dynamite tokens are tokens that will explode and deal damage to all those near them. See Rulebook, page 67. Tracking time. At the start of each round, add a time token to the end of the initiative track. Once the 4th time token is added, read the following hidden text. I don't know what it is because it's hidden. Small, but deadly. Only read the following hidden text if instructed to. Some of these hidden texts... I know! Peasant mode, right? Some of these hidden texts are like, you shouldn't be reading this text, you're cheating. I don't know how I know that, but I do. There's a couple of loot stuff. Also a blue objective. So there. Right there is your blue objective token. So, and there's also totems. And totems usually mean monster spawns. So there is the first blue totem here. There's another totem here. Yellow totem. A green totem. Totem. Down there. And we have impassable terrain, quite a bit of it actually. So maybe we'll have to fix the way this board is angled so that we can better see where the impassable terrain is.
So we can't get to the south side of the board easily. There's no walking passage to it.
This is one long red impassable terrain line here. You've got the hole here, but there's no flight. So that sucks.
So you got to jump 3 spaces. I could throw Zeke over there. Or I could throw everyone over. I can't make it over, but I could throw everyone over.
Oh, you know what, Joshua? I have planks for days. How many spaces does a plank?
1 space.
Oh. What if I tie them together?
You could go against 3 spaces, but yes, you could.
Maybe I'll do that. Maybe it's time to whip out the plank. That is the totality of the interesting stuff for right now.
Oh, we have a new creature on the board?
We do. So we start off with 2 aberrations. That one died. It's crazy. And that one. But we have this new creature right here. Come here, little melty face. And this new creature is a blighted guardian. Blighted guardian. It looks like that. That's gross. Blighted Guardian, Miasma. Anytime the Blighted Guardian is dealt damage, inflict disease on all adjacent opponents.
Disease. You may not have any positive effects. You may not remove damage tokens or other effect tokens.
That sucks.
Just nasty.
So the Blight is going to, green screen, combat with a green die and a red die. They've got no armor, 4 movement, so they're not moving very fast. 20 health and 13 defense. Conviction die of a teal and an orange, casting of a green. When they have combo of a book and when they have a book, roll a book and a shield combo. When they roll a book and a shield combo, they add +2 physical damage to their attack. If they have a star, they will follow up to inflict disease. Looks like a job for Damocles. Am I right? Yeah. Get him on it. So that will be Interessante. Mooing, Interessante. Are you going to get me killed?
Great. We have to take down the beast at a distance. Yeah. That's going to be for Anne and Nightingale to take care of.
That is the pew-pew. Yeah, and I've got reach 2. This will be interesting. Oh, this is a... I didn't cheat. Look ahead. Can I have my buttons back?
Yeah.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to?
No.
With the buttons?
No.
And the things?
Yeah. Maybe.
You got itchy face?
Yep.
Your forehead itch?
Doesn't Remi have her summons, though? She does.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I got Badman's Book of Baddies.
Did you take the skill, too?
Yes. That's what that was. If you would give me a minute. Last time. Figure down. What does it mean?
Figures down.
Oh, yeah. Well, he is, but he's going to have to stay that way. Because we're going to do it. We're going to do it next week. So it doesn't really even matter. Okay. Because he's dead. Or, and hear me out here, if we start a cave and the figure is down, do we just skip to getting the loot?
No.
Do we just not fight it because the mini fell over when I threw cards at you, and we just go to the part where we get the money?
No.
Lame. Summoning. Gain summon tokens equal to your highest level assemblage discipline. Yes, that, which is level 2. Spend a number of those tokens equal to a loyal Esper's cost to spawn them within the sphere of influence. The Esper's level may not exceed your highest level assemblage disciplino. Thank you. So this will be fun. That's going to be fun to try next time. Okay. On that note, thank you all for joining us this evening. I know tonight was a little bit more of an administrative kind of evening. We made it through some story. We did a quick shopping phase. We talked about, purchasing new items, and we got a sneak peek into the caves for next week.
Cave of Wonders?
To start our fights. So make sure that you are following us. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it. On Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and can join us in Discord where
sometimes we talk about the games we're playing. We talk about Slay the Spire. Apparently, Ice Chamber's been playing it. I got him hooked.
Isn't that the game that you told me was $10 with the Humble Bundle, and you're like, all the rest of the games don't matter, it's just really $10 for Slay the Spire?
Pretty much. It's like a $25 game, so I got it on sale for like $15, I think, so like $10 is really good.
We could talk Arc, too, because I'm about to go fight the Brood Mother after I finish breeding up my Megatheria army. I've got 2 more Megatherias to raise up. Anyway, that's my nerdy life.
Nerd.
Thank you again for joining us. If the interactive shows are something that you really enjoy, make sure to check out our show to... You don't have Matt here.
There's no Matt here, so this is the only show for the week.
Hey! So typically we do KDM on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and then we also have another show, Feast of Legends, on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. However, for this week, we will not be doing those two shows. One, because Matt is out of town, so there will be no KDM tomorrow. And Wednesday, we're going to be skipping our show because my son has his crossover from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts, so I need to make sure that I'm prepping for that, and I need to do that on Wednesday. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. Don't kill me. Could set up a flat mat power hour for tomorrow.
Maybe. We'll see.
That would be friggin' hilarious. If you do that, you need to ping me and tell me that you're doing it. That would be very funny. And now it's not a Weebelo. Like, I'm super excited because, like, when my oldest was in it, it's a Weebelo. Just like a note, they updated it so that Weebelo 2 is now Arrow of Light, which is AOL is the short. But yeah, I got no more cubbies.
Arrow of Light was a whole separate thing, though. Like, I don't understand.
What do you mean?
Arrow of Light was like a Boy Scout thing. Like,
you have the Order of the Arrow,
yeah,
which is the organization,
yeah,
for the Boy Scouts. But in the cubbies, you had Weebelos, which is Will Be Loyal Scouts,
yeah,
and you had Weebelo and Weebelo 2. There's always child abuse stuff with the Boy Scouts. Okay, so this is... Yes, okay. We're going to end the stream here, and then we will talk. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And make sure, if you're watching us on VOD, make sure if you can to come and try and join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on our Twitch stream and come join in on the action.
Bye.